Okay, here we go. Real quick, just let me review what's on the quiz. What we do today, not on there. We're done. Quiz ended with that homework I just checked. Okay, what we do today, not on there. First 6 questions, I'm going to mark up a diagram. We did this in the day we did side, 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 and side angle side notes. Remember, I gave you 2 triangles. I marked it up, and I said, are they congruent? If they are, give me the method. So the first 6 questions are just like that. Right? And not possible might be a method. Right? They might not be congruent. All right, so those are the first 6. Interior angles of a triangle, they add to 180. Even if I have a triangle within a triangle within a triangle. All these triangles in this diagram add up to 180. They're interior angles. Okay, so keep that in mind. What do I mean by triangle exterior angle theorem? Angle 1 is equal to what? Angle 3 plus angle 4, the remote interiors. Yep, there'll be a question there. Now, not to make you panic, I said there's a review question from Unit 3. I'm talking about parallel lines. You have to use it to find maybe some interior or exterior angles of a triangle. We've done proofs with those, so it should be like corresponding angles might be part of it. Alternate interior, that's what I mean by a review question. So I don't need you to go digging into Unit 3 and studying that up. All right, and then 2 proofs at the end. Both of them will involve proving triangles congruent. They'll say prove these 2 congruent, prove these 2 congruent. All right, so that is your quiz in a nutshell. Nothing what we do today is on there. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Did you just buzzsaw all that in, or is it some left over? All right, I thought it was just like in cartoons. You've seen those in the cartoons.
I mean, it started out this long. I have eaten like that much throughout the day.
A little dry.
It is a little dry, but I mean, it's quality bread. It's from Panera.
Oh, quality. I didn't know there was rankings to the bread, to the breads. Quality. What would be above quality? Just melts in your mouth.
I mean, homemade bread is pretty dang good.
Bottom would be stale, obviously, probably, right? Moldy, yeah, I don't think you want to touch the moldy. Guess I'd rather have stale than that. All right. Any issues, questions about the quiz Friday? You have Delta Math to review. Monday you'll come in, we'll check the homework, and we'll go right to the quiz. All right, here we go. So here's the deal today. What happens after the triangles are congruent? That's the point we've gotten to. We know how to prove triangles congruent. What happens after that, though? All right? You guys know what happens after that. After 2 triangles are congruent, all the sides and all the angles are. So that's what I'm going to ask today. How do you get these pair of angles congruent? Well, the triangles have to be congruent first. So right here, I have triangle WIS congruent to triangle EUP. I don't need a diagram. You don't either. What I want right now from 6 different people is name me 3 sides and 3 pairs of angles that should be congruent. Just by giving the congruent statement. You now know the triangles are congruent, so these have to be congruent. Name a pair that have to be congruent. Let's start 25. Let's start this show off.
Angle W, angle E.
Yep, that's fine. Angle W congruent to angle E. I'll take sides or angles here. W and E are congruent because they're in the first 2 spots. Everyone see where I'm getting those from, right? We've done this. What else is congruent? 7. Angle I, U, yep. How about anything else? Sides or angles? 24. Okay, S and P. The angles have been exhausted. Now I need sides that are congruent. 3 sides.
WI and EU are congruent.
Yep, WI congruent to EU. Good work. 2 more pair. 9.
Oh, that's really good.
Okay.
IS and UP.
IS and UP, yep. And the final pair of sides that have to be congruent, finish this off right, 16.
Side SW is congruent to side PE.
PE, yep, good. All right, but again, and there's the point. This is the point I'm stressing today. This right here, all 6 of these is not true unless I know what about the triangles. They have to be congruent. Okay, they have to be congruent. So take a look at our first proof today. You'll notice something a little different in the proof statements, right? I'm not asking you to prove triangles. I'm asking you to prove angles. Same argument. ACD and angle BCD will not be congruent unless we do what first?
Prove the triangle.
I got to prove the triangles. All right, so all we're doing today is taking our triangle proofs and making them a step longer. You cannot prove those 2 angles congruent unless the triangles are congruent first. So let's do that. This is great practice for Monday's quiz, proving triangles congruent. CA congruent to CB. D is the midpoint of AB. Given, when I mark them. Okay. Looks like what? I gave you a pair of sides in the givens and that's it. So I need 2 other people to tell me something else that's true about these sides and angles. Uh, 15.
CD equals CD by reflection.
Woo. Do you just have that prepared, John? Like if he calls on me, like I've had kids in past years, they're like, all right, I'm ready for my number, boom. Then they just go out with it because you don't want to be caught off guard. All right. I need one more pair of something. Remember, please start using the givens. They're provided for a reason. To read them. 16, what else is true?
AD is congruent to DB.
How do you know that?
Definition.
Yep. Whew. And yes, I know this proving the triangles was easy, but that's not my point of this proof. My point is to know what to do afterwards. All right, now, let's stop here for a second. This is not just as easy as copying the proof statement like yesterday. Make sure when you write me the 2 triangles that are congruent, what am I going to look for? When you write, you say, all right, triangle ADC, congruent to, what am I looking for in the second triangle? Making sure the sides and angles that should match up do. So if I go ADC, I got to go BCD. No, so relax. BDC. BDC. By what method? 17. You got it.
Side.
You all right, Riley?
Yeah.
You sure?
Sorry.
It's all right. Some people get rattled. They're not as quick as John back there. None of us. All right. Okay, now, whoa. We got the triangles congruent. Now this is the new part today. We're going to take it an extra step. Now that I know the triangles are congruent, any of these corresponding parts are congruent, including angle ACD and BCD. And here's our new reason. Buckle up. Corresponding parts, which these are, everyone agrees? I'm just showing you where my reason's coming from. Corresponding parts in, where are these angles located? In congruent triangles are, how do I finish this? Corresponding parts in congruent triangles are? Congruent. Yes, congruent. Whoa, before we go to the next one. That'll be the last time I write that down in a reasons column. It can be for you too if you choose. I am going to write what's it called? An acronym for it. All right, which is the following. CPCTC. Corresponding parts, congruent triangles are congruent. I will give you 30 seconds to let that roll off your tongue.
It's like CPCTC.
No, this is an actual. You'll see this reason everywhere.
Oh, okay.
This isn't like my abbreviations. Like this is an actual, legit mathematical acronym. So, okay, a couple things about this. I'm not requiring you to write that. If you want to write corresponding parts in congruent triangles or congruent, that's fine. If you do use the acronym, it has to be in the right order. And yes, I will mark it off if the T and the C are flipped. Okay, so if you're going to use it, make sure you know it. Last thing, and this is a common mistake, CPCTC is not a method to prove triangles congruent. How many methods do you have? And it's staying that way. All right, it's staying that way. This is after you prove triangles congruent. All good? All right, let's keep using it.
Why are you? It's your turn. I hope Mr. wants to like
Look at the proof statement. I'm asking you to prove two segments equal or two sides equal. Again, I'm not doing that until what's congruent first? The triangles. That's your first goal. Get the triangles congruent, then those parts will be congruent. Well, I basically gave you everything here, haven't I? I gave you a pair of angles in Q and R, and I gave you another pair of angles in QPS and RSP. Looks like I need one more pair. And also, again, this is why I put the A's and the S's in parentheses. I know at this point in the proof, you better be giving me a pair of sides. How do I know the next pair better be sides? There's no such thing as angle, angle, angle. Never will be. So I know the next pair, whoever I call on, has to give me a pair of sides that are congruent. And those pair of sides, 19.
PQ and RS.
Okay, and I'm going to ask for a reason.
Ultimate interior angles congruent and 5 parallel lines.
All right, let's back up. Ellie, ready? You said the sides were congruent, and then you gave me a reason saying implies parallel lines.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. They share something?
What?
Those two triangles share something?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, it's the reflexive thing. It's
Yeah.
PS.
Good. Yeah. You know what it is? You know what I think it is? It's you guys that don't get called on often. Like, what's this? Like the third time this year, maybe?
Yeah.
And Riley, how many for you? Like 2 or 3, maybe? Yeah. So it's like it catches you off guard. You guys get rattled. John, what do you got? Like 10 under your belt? 15, probably. So that gives me a pair of sides. I guess maybe the toughest part of this proof is the method. Now that I have two angles and a side, is it going to be angle, angle, side, or angle, side, angle? I want to make sure I'm clear on this. When you determine this method, hey, you should be looking at one and one triangle only. Some of you may be saying, oh, look, that side's in between these two angles. It's got to be angle, side, angle. But you're looking at two triangles. You got to cover up one and look at what you have at the other. Is that side in between or not? No, it's not. Everyone see that? Yes or no? We see this. Cover up a triangle and look. Is that side in between? No. So that's angle, angle, side. And we still need to call this triangle, let's see, triangle, let's see, I'm going to go RPS for the first one. So if I go RPS, don't screw this one up. QSP. No. What's no about it? RS. No. What's no about this? SQ. PR. They're in the right spots. Yeah, I got the pen back there, boss. All right? I'll do the teaching. You just answer your questions when it comes up. Now the triangles are congruent, so are SQ and PR, CPCTC. Okay. Any questions before I get to this last one? All right, I've been doing a bad job here because I've just given you diagrams with two triangles and that's it. So it's been pretty easy to figure out what two need to be congruent, right? And the last one, I think I'm proving those two. And the one we just did, I think I'm proving those two. Now take a look at my diagram. Ooh, which two do I prove? This is why I'm doing this proof with you. All right, it's not the two I feel like proving congruent. All right, it's two. We'll talk. Let's get everything down first. All right, well, now we have to figure out first what are the two triangles that need to be proven congruent. Because again, everyone see what I mean? It was very easy on the last two because there was only two. So it had to be those. Now it's like, is it this one and this one, this one and this one? How can I figure out what triangles need to be proven congruent? Look at the proof statement. The proof statement will lead you to the triangles. What's the first angle in the proof statement? ABI. ABI. There's only one triangle that contains angle ABI. Everyone agree? Triangle ABI. And what's the second angle in the proof statement? There's only one triangle that contains ACI, and that's triangle ACI. So it's got to be those two, right? Got to be those two. Do you know anything in those two already? We know a pair of sides exist that are congruent. So that must mean two more pairs of congruent parts needed. Two more pairs. Ready? Here we go. 24. What else is true? Nice job. With the hard one first. Respect. BAI congruent to angle CAI. Definition of bisects. So that's 2 down, 1 to go, correct? 2 down, 1 to go. Where's that other pair of sides or angles going to come from? 16?
AI is congruent to AI.
There we go.
Because of the reflective.
Yep. Yep. Got it. And there is another pair of sides. I got everything I need. Now I just got to write the correct statement with a correct reason. Triangle ABI congruent to triangle ACI. I only have 4 methods. We're not writing CPCTC here. We only have 4 methods. Which one is it going to be? 5. Side angle side. Good. And now the triangles are congruent, so are its corresponding angles, ABI and angle ACI, CPCTC. Last thing I'll tell you about the quiz, CPCTC should not be written down at all. It's not on the quiz. Remember, what we did today is not on the quiz. So if you find yourself writing CPCTC, it's going to be wrong. Okay? We're just sticking with 4 methods, and that's it. All right, go ahead. You can get going on all your stuff. Sorry, one last thing. Please take note. All proofs are in 2 columns tonight because a couple of the directions say a flow proof or a paragraph. That's not how we roll in here. We stick with 2 paragraph and 2 paragraph only. I'm sorry, 2 column only.
It's a paragraph.
Something that I don't want to read from any of you.